Welcome to Unit 6, Section 3, Lesson 1, Video 1. Solving Equations, Multiplying Fractions Review. So before we look at solving equations with fractions, we're going to do a quick review of how to multiply fractions. And if you remember, earlier in this course, we multiplied fractions such as 3/4 times 1/5. And when we multiply fractions, we multiply the numerators together, so 3 times 1, and we multiply the denominators together, 4 times 5. 3 times 1 is 3, and 4 times 5 is 20. So 3/4 times 1/5 equals 3/20. In the next example, we'll multiply 3/4 times 4/5. Once again, we multiply the numerators together. 3 times 4 is 12, and 4 times 5 is 20 if we multiply the denominators together. Anytime we're dealing with fractions, we always want to have our final answer in lowest terms. So we always need to check, can we divide the numerator and the denominator by the same factor? And in this case, we can divide the numerator and the denominator by 4, because both numbers are divisible by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. Now, another strategy we learned when multiplying fractions, if we look at the exact same two fractions, is that we can reduce the fractions before we multiply. And in this case, the 4's can cancel, and I'm left with just 3/5. Our third example, we're going to multiply a whole number by a fraction. So we can rewrite 5 as 5/1. And now we have an example just like the previous two. We can reduce it like we just did in the last example before we multiply, and we get 2/1, which is 2. Or, instead of writing the first fraction as 5/1, I can simply reduce the two numbers first, and I get 2 as well. And I can use that strategy to help me solve an equation that involves a variable. So if I multiply 5 times n/5, so in this case, it looks exactly like c, except the 2 has been replaced with an n. We do the exact same strategy, we cancel our 5's, and we're left with n. We're going to use that strategy to help us solve equations that have fractions. Please proceed to video 2.